Thank you for coming, man. You could have spent your time anywhere, but you took the time out to come and spend your time with me. For that, I really appreciate it. Man, sit down, look around, comment, like, subscribe. Listen, subscribe. Let's make this channel grow. Let's grow together. Anyway, we're going to get into these videos. We reached to the farthest corner, a dark corner of these social media streets and see what's going on. Found out things that, we normally don't know about if we didn't look and find out these things. So thank you. Come on, let's enjoy this thing, see what's going on.
So we're not going to act like former Congressman Matt Gaetz didn't say that the United States has a secret alien breeding program. You heard what I just said? This man said you will be surprised who isn't human. Oh, you don't believe me, right? Look at this shit. Listen to this shit.
Who was uniformed. He was a senior enlisted with the United States Army. Came into my office in Crestview, Florida, in a non-classified setting. I had members of my staff there, and what they explained is that the military ran a very secret program where aliens that were living were in forced breeding programs with humans that had been abducted from war zones and from even the caravans.
Another senator went on X and said, I wish I could say more, but unfortunately, everything I know about the alien hybrid program is classified. Let's just say some of you will be very surprised who's not entirely human. So you have Alien Disclosure this year. You have the movie about Alien Disclosure coming out this year. You have President Obama saying that aliens are real. You have President Trump saying that he's going to release the UFO file. And now you have a senator saying that they have an alien breeding program. That don't sound strange to you? I want to play something else for you. Listen to this. Listen to what this man said.
Probably some of the most interesting stuff to declassify. Again, I think that if the things I've seen were declassified, the public's questions would be around how this technology exists that can do some of these things. And if we don't have it, and if we don't believe anyone else on Earth has it, where do we think it came from?
I keep telling y'all, if they're telling you about it now, they've been knew about it. Like I always say, it's nothing new under the sun.
Okay. All right, now, with this right here, man. Excuse me. There's always something going on. The government is hiding so much stuff from us. It is so crazy, but I'm glad that, they're being more forthcoming on bringing things out. Because don't you wish that we've been farther along? I know we got these technologies now, but man, I wish I could travel to like Saturn, go out of space and see Saturn, on the trip instead of going to like a Black Bike Week or Daytona or you know what I'm talking about? Where I'm at right here, the world's largest cocktail party, Florida Georgia game. But anyway, yeah, just want to go places, man, and get these technologies. Like Nikola Tesla got all these inventions and all these briefcases he had that happened to disappear. It's just so much stuff, man, and it's frustrating that they're keeping us down, like not allowing us to be, it's technology, technologically advanced as we're supposed to be. You know what I'm trying to get at. But anyway, let's get at the next video. See what's cracking. You know what I'm talking about?
This is not some crazy conspiracy. That's what Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna just said on a recent Newsmax segment, and the reason she said it might get your attention. Check this out and let's talk.
Quote, non-human life forms that could be interdimensional beings who are visiting us. Can you just explain more to people at home what that might mean?
Yeah, so that's definitely a mouthful, but that is directly based on information that we've received from witnesses, also information that we have obtained and witnessed via our investigations. There's some stuff that I can't disclose of what I have immediately seen in some of these skiffs, but what I will tell you is this is not just some crazy conspiracy theory. Obviously, there's been massive reporting, not just in the United States, but around the world. And this is something that I think everyone kind of, has always had some curiosity about. We're just simply asking the questions.
Yeah, and it feels like we're building towards some sort of disclosure.
So let's break that down a little bit on what she just confirmed. So Luna said Congress has received testimony and evidence involving non-human life forms and possibly interdimensional phenomena. We've heard that. And she emphasized that this is based on classified things that she has personally been a part of. She even added that certain things she's seen can't be discussed publicly, which are the things that really pique my interest, of course. But she and others obviously have to be very careful not to violate classification. We've got David Grush talking about non-human biologics. We've got Tim Burchett saying we're dealing with something not of this earth. Marco Rubio saying high clearance insiders have privately told him all the same information. Is this the same old political dance, or is the tone actually shifting? Give me your.
Man, listen, it is so much stuff going on, but I'm happy about it. See, it's more like it seems like Congress get more involved in it and everything since that little disclosure meeting that time when they had all those people at Congress. I forgot the congressional hearing, but it seems like it's more and more things coming out, and I'm glad. Aren't you glad? I know they said it was supposed to be a big panic and everything, but man, listen, get, I, I ain't gonna tell you no lie. My guilty pleasure is like I look at like can't lie. I like Star Trek. I like Star Wars. I like some Star Trek, and some Star Wars. Not all of them, but anyway, you look at those things you see in traveling from place to place and all these different species and everything, and you're like, man, golly. And then you see these crafts in the sky, stuff like that. These UFOs flying, the UAPs, whatever they call them flying around and everything. He'd be like, man, it'll be great, even though I'm scared of height now. But in a spaceship, I feel as though, I'll be untouchable if it can fly like that. Anyway, you just be wanting to experience going far off or just having that type of technology. I don't know about you, but I love technology. But anyway, just man, I'm just glad that everything's is actually, it's finally coming about. I hope it gets there quicker. I hope it's not like like a stopgap that's gonna it's gonna be a blockage in the information coming out. I just want it to be, I want us to get there before I'm going at least. I like to travel.
Now, this footage was from the Miami Mall incident where these interdimensional beings was coming through a portal. Now, this cell phone was able to capture about 2 seconds of these beings before his phone froze. This is allegedly what they look like. Now, this footage was from the...
Man, there's the Miami footage. When the Miami thing came out, I was hoping to see footage of like the aliens and everything. You see like a footage of like the little ray thing or whatever beam went by, and I've been looking and looking and scouring trying to find videos of the actual footage. I'm hearing all the accounts and everything, but never seen it. Could this be one? I don't know. I mean, it's a weird shape, long neck, but with AI and everything, who knows? Let's get into the next video. See what's cracking with that.
Our United States government lied, did not tell us anything about the alien threat.
Ever since Donald Trump said that he was going to force the government to release all the alien files, right? Peep this. 3 of the top scientists that would know anything about space-related weapons, aliens, anything space-related, magically disappeared. Well, one of them was unalived. But what if I told you that there was a structural engineer that worked for the government, a black budget program where they were digging underground bases? This was in the Archuleta Mesa, right? So Schneider claims that they were about 2 miles deep under Archuleta Mesa, right? New Mexico. So they call it the laboratory for the Los Alamos base, correct? So he's saying that their equipment keeps on breaking down. So they sent a man, him, down there to check out what's going on. Turns out that there was 6 or 7 foot tall entities, alien entities. Oh shit. So Phil immediately freaks out, like I know all of us would. He pulls out his pew-pew and he goes back. He takes out 2 of them. Here's where something gets completely crazy, bro. During the process, one of these ETs does a number like this and releases some type of plasma that literally knocks Phil Schneider off his freaking feet, yo. It burned his toenails off and he lost a few fingers and it just split him open from the neck down. But however, he didn't drop a single drop of blood. But here's where it gets crazy. Shouldn't have told anybody, right? You should have been Victoria's Secret. Victoria, don't tell nobody. You know what I'm sizzling, homie? So Phil decides in 1990 that he's going to tell the world about it. Like, hey, this is how I lost my fingers. Hey, this is what these scars are from. However, it's not what you guys may think. This is my true story. Bad idea.
Chest. And the next thing I know, this blue beam hit me and just literally opened me up like a fish. I have a picture of one of the aliens been working for the United States Pentagon for the last 58 years. His name is Valiant Thor. He's right here. There's my father in the background.
Because shortly after, in 1996, Phil was found in his hotel. He literally himself multiple times. What? Then after that, he hung himself. And they labeled this as a suicide. Do you believe that he actually did that? Or was he silenced like these other two scientists and the one that literally discovered the 9th planet, which we still haven't claimed, but it's obviously Nibiru. I mean, come on. But this man was literally credited for coming up with the technology to detect water on other planets light years away. Literally gunned down on his porch. But listen to what Phil has to say. My name is Armin, this the Imperfect. If you like this kind of content, consider dropping a follow. This one is fascinating. I'm going to upload Phil's entire speech on YouTube if you want to check it out. The link's down below. Welcome to the Imperfect. Boop, boop.
And I killed 2 of them. Yes, they're mortal and they do die. However, in the process, one of them did this. All I remember is that he just kind of waved his hand in front of his chest. And the next thing I know, this blue beam hit me and just literally opened me up like a fish. And burnt my fingers right off of me. And it was some form of electrical force because the kind of like being hit by a lightning bolt burned all my toenails off of me. Completely crispy crittered my left foot. Burnt the shoe right off of me. All I remember was smoking remains, and I'm still conscious, but in and out of, and didn't remember much. And there was a Green Beret that was right behind me that risked his life. In fact, he died, but he risked his life. He shoved me back in the bass and hit the button and took me up.
Anyway, man, that's crazy. You know, it'll be all kind of stuff going on, especially like with these scientists and these government agencies and everything. That's why if you want to find something out, you need to join the military, intelligence. If you're doing the intelligence or logistics or something like that, you guaranteed or maybe like a biochemist or biologist or something like that. You're guaranteed to probably at one point in time to run across the alien if you can keep your mouth closed. Anyway, on to the next video. Let's see what's cracking this last video. On to Matt.
Is jaw-dropping, and it was passed over by the New York Times. The New York Times had an opportunity to run this story, and they didn't. We're going to show you this unbelievable film in just a moment. But what's more astonishing, however, might be the cover-up and the secrecy of this top-secret film. My guest today is Jon Stewart, former candidate for Illinois governor in US Congress. He spent more than 5 years investigating, proving the provenance of this alleged film, this top secret film, which we're about to show you, and which you are about to see. And it purportedly shows an alien, an extraterrestrial biological entity being interrogated at the S2 facility in 1997 by members of the US military. Yes, an alien creature being interrogated by members of the US military. And just a few weeks ago, our guest, Jon Stewart, hand-delivered his entire investigation to Congressman Tim Burchett's office. And he's become the first non-government civilian to submit a report to the United States Congress regarding the extraterrestrial phenomenon. Jon, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you here on Redacted.
Like most people back in 1997, this was part of, or this was a documentary that came out. I go to sit down and watch this documentary thinking alien interview. This is going to be like a weird humanoid looking person handing a clipboard over to a general at the Pentagon for a job interview. I mean, this is how my brain was thinking. And I'm sitting down and 30 minutes into this documentary, this footage comes on. It's not professionally done. It doesn't have any cuts. There's people in the foreshadow. This gray alien is bone color, bone, like human bone. It's got round eyes, not almond shaped eyes. If I'm hoaxing a video of a gray alien, it's going to be gray and it's going to have the typical almond eyes. And this bizarre physiological monitor next to the bean that goes up and down and not across the screen. And then Victor, the alleged whistleblower who claimed to have helped smuggle this out of Area 51, that's the way insiders talk of Area 51. And I don't think a 23-year-old screenwriter in 96 could have made up this script that Victor was talking about. I mean, the vernacular he used was bizarre. And he used a term called medical flagging. The creature starts to medically flag. And I asked my old doctor, who was about 65 years old at the time in 97, on my annual checkup. I said, "What is medically flagging?" He looked at me. He goes, "Where did you hear that from? That's like a army medical term we used in the 50s and 60s." I'm like, "Wait a minute, what is going on here?" And then there was some weird an acronym on the bottom, DNI, David November Igloo /27. And Victor tells us that was the Department of Naval Intelligence. So I run for Congress 2 years later with this film in the back of my mind going, what is going on here? And I don't want to say his name anymore because I'm getting admonished for doing so, but I was on a political bus tour and I went up to a senator during a break who has passed away now. And I said, "Senator, what is the Department of Naval Intelligence?" And Clayton, you look in my eyes. This guy went from jovial, happy senator to this aggressive look. And he looked at me, he goes, "You don't need to know anything about that." And he stormed off and he never talked to me the rest of the tour. Clayton, you're a journalist, you're an investigative reporter too. I'm thinking, wait a minute. I got a hoaxed video with medical terminology from 50s and 60s. I've got a gray alien that's tan and round eyes, medical staff that are in short sleeve scrubs and not in biohazard suits to really hype up the video. I've got a monitor that I have never seen in 35 years of my life back then. And I've got 3 letters on this hoaxed video that has just pissed off a United States senator. What in God's name is going on with this film?
So here it is. This is, again, it's silence. There's no audio on this. What are we looking at here as we play this film? What are we seeing on our screen, John?
Okay. Contrary to Victor's voiceover, this is a film shot April of 1991, a thought projection interview of a other gray, designated an other gray, an extraterrestrial biological entity. He is a haploid, which means he came with only one sexual chromosome. Human beings are diploids. For any microbiologists out there, if I'm hatcheting those words, I'm sorry. But this being had only one sexual chromosome. He came to the S2 alpha, the official designation of the underground facility that housed the alien interrogation and retention program. That's the unofficial name of what this was. They call these interview suites the ambassador suites because the government did try for the care and did treat these and look at these beings and still do as ambassadors from other planets and other dimensions. And if you hear David Grush coughing on his words, it's because he doesn't want to tell you that some of these beings are from other dimensions. And so this being was very ill at the time. He had a respiratory issue. Now, Sean David Morton also heard, I can't verify this veracity, that it's some sort of debilitation or disease with its heart-lung sac. It does not have a traditional heart. It's got a heart-lung one sac, which was the need for the special monitor, which goes up and down, does not go across, to monitor this bizarre heart-lung one sac organ that the alien has. And behind the viewing glass pass. There is a researcher out there, but that's how bizarre this film has gotten. And I'm not even going to tell you anything about the telepaths because I don't want it to get into the Da Vinci Code. But even Doty said that the telepathic program, the people they hired, was ridiculous. They were like one step above 1-800 psychics back in the 80s and 90s. But there was 2 men in particular that were very in touch with these beings, and they would sit down with these aliens and these beings and immediately get information and relate it back to whatever military person was in the room. As you can see on the tape, the being eventually starts to medically flag, if I can use the whistleblower Victor's terminology, and he is then attended to by the medical staff. And Victor tells us that the medical staff in S2 and S4, are more chosen for their ability to keep secrets than their medical knowledge. And again, I have been in contact. I have the names of the two doctors that are going to be on either side of this beam. On the bottom, you're going to see DNI/27. That is the Department of Naval Intelligence. According to Richard Doty, there's like a conga line of different agencies waiting to insert their questions to this being in the 2-hour long interview. The interviews are conducted about once a month.
What did you start to piece together from people who were in the room? And so when we say hoaxed video, I think you're saying that was what the assumption you had going into this, that this was hoax. That was sort of the media speculation about this. Now you've proven and taken it to the United States Congress, which, by the way, they're about to hold a hearing on this next week. And I think that this is, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be a big piece of this. And other whistleblowers are now confirmed to be coming forward to Congress next week. Civilian whistleblowers who are going to be testifying of the things that they've been a part of and seen.
Like Linda Moulton Howell told me when she saw the list, you have gold here. Why? No one has ever heard of these people before. And like Linda said, and these people are on Google and are real. And I said, yeah, they are. And she said, son, you got gold here. And so I got the list of names, but I know investigative journalism. That wasn't just enough just to have the names. I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. So I started to vet every single person on the list. The first person was retired working for TRW, and TRW. These are the men, by the way, who were behind the glass in the viewing gallery watching this thought projection interview. That's what it's called. It's not telepathy. It's actually called thought projection. And the first one worked for TRW. And I said, well, this is a hoax. He wasn't even in the military. Sean David Morton, who was in the office of the production company, who first got the call from Victor saying, I've got this VHS tape of an alien, said, no. TRW is like hand in hand with the government. They do every kind of secret project and whatnot. I said, wow. And Doty said that it was not filmed in S4. There are no alien housing there. The alien housing is in S2 Alpha. And I'm like, what's S2 Alpha? He sent me a satellite photo of it and said, that's what it is. It's called the Alien Retention Program. This being was brought in on a part of Project Pounce. Doty's like, I don't know the provenance of the being, but I think it was from the Kalahari crash where 2 beings were recovered. But the alien program, whether that be the retention, the interrogation, the biological reverse engineering of craft, that all is now taking place at Michael's Airfield at the Dugway Proving Grounds. The program to interview the beings in S2 was called Project Aquarius, which was basically all things about aliens in contact with human beings. And that is from the email, and that is also from Richard Doty's mouth, who is verified as the counterintelligence agent who is in his 70s and wants to tell the story, the truth of what's going on and what the government is covering up.
The film that you are about to see is John.
Okay. All right, that's the last video of the night. Man, that's crazy. Like I tell you, things be going on that we don't even know things about. Film from 1990 something. And it looks legitimate to me. I don't know about you. But people lie, man, every day. And I think the government is one of the biggest liars. I guarantee you, and I guarantee you they erase people, especially after all them tests you hear about them doing on people of color, like black people. So, yeah, people are evil, and I'm pretty sure they'll mind us about a whole lot of things. But I'm glad it's finally, coming to the forefront, and I hope it comes a lot more faster. Let's get all of this out in the open. Pressure them. If you're out there and you're listening to me, man, pressure your Congress, your senators or something. Try to get that word out. Try to get all that stuff out in the forefront so we can live like the Jets. And you know what I'm talking about? Anyway, again, thank you you could have spent your time any place with anybody, but you took your time out to spend it with me and enjoy these videos. And for that, I'm truly appreciative. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Did you find everything where it needed to be? Okay, good. Again, comment, like, subscribe. Man, let's make this thing grow with me. Come on, let's get some more of these things going. It's your boy Critique, the Mass Critic, and we are the Dark Corner Diaries. I'm going to holler at you next time. Thank you for taking the time out to hear me out.